Topside is where bad things happen. Where moving metals relentlessly hunt down flesh. Where fellow men, fellow raiders, would rather shoot you down instead of extending a helping hand. And so, for a solo raider, for a lone man scouring topside for loot and a purpose, stealth is a necessity. In these strings of short tales of my visit to the topside, I'll let you in on some tricks. Facts and tips to increase your chances of returning down below.
Don't shoot! Appreciate it.
In my first raid, I started somewhere south of the damned battlegrounds, somewhere west of the scrapyard. The beginning of my run was nothing special. I looted broken cars and searched through abandoned machineries as I slowly moved towards the scrapyard. Then once I arrived at the yard, I helped myself with all the industrial loot I could carry. However, when I was to leave the metallic graveyard, I got hit with a Pharaoh shot. A well-aimed blast that depleted my armor and a quarter of my health. And so this is where the first tip comes. Always have a plan of retreat. Doesn't matter if you're looting inside a building or just walking in the woodlands. You should continuously plot out escape routes as you explore topside. After all, you could get shot anytime and anywhere. All it takes is a clear line of sight for another solo to riddle you dead with bullets. For this particular moment, I already heard shots northeast of me. Though while the shots were distant, I knew it was a possibility that I may stumble upon another raider. And so as I moved, I took note of the thick trees at the left side of the road, as well as the bushes that I can use to break enemy line of sight. And so when that sneaky blast came, I already knew where I wanted to go. This decision allowed me to recover my wounds and take the fight to my attacker. After hitting him with my own Pharaoh, I pushed forward with my submachine gun to finish him off. He was still able to pull off a counterattack, but luckily he was too wounded to win the fight. Now here comes lesson 2, an obvious one but worth to mention. Heal up quickly after winning a fight. You see, when you take down a fellow raider, a flare blasts into the sky, alerting others of their misfortune. This flare can catch the attention of other raiders, especially ones eager for gunfights. And so to prevent yourself from dying to a third party, best to heal up quickly and loot your enemy. I would also suggest repositioning quickly. Run behind trees and push through thick bushes to avoid seeking eyes. And once you feel safe, that's when you should collect yourself and decide which loot to recycle or perhaps throw away. After that fight, I was eager to go back to Speranza. The raid timer was almost at the 10-minute mark, and so only the nearby extraction point by the water treatment plant remains. This meant that all remaining raiders would be converging at this one spot, which could make escaping the raid much trickier. As I reached a cliff overlooking the water treatment plant, I saw a hornet. A little flying arc black as the void turned its lights red. This meant that the arc spotted a player and was trying to hunt them down. While this spelled bad luck for the other raider, for me, it meant opportunity. You see, the raider that the arc spotted is likely trying to open the escape elevator. So all I had to do then was simply wait for the elevator to open and sneak my way back to Speranza. But while waiting for such opportunity, a flying arc spotted me while I was hiding behind a bush. Now, I could have shot this arc and revealed my exact location for everyone to hear. However, there was a lot of cover, a lot of rocks and debris that I could hide in. So instead, I made a run for it, broke line of sight and hid in a shed. Eventually, I heard the elevator call and sprinted towards the extraction point.
Hatch open. You're cleared to return to Speranza.
Don't shoot! Appreciate it.
The second raid started in the water towers. It was a standard start. I looted a few things but eventually headed towards water treatment where I was hearing a lot of gunshots. As I reached the entrance to the building, the gunfires still hadn't stopped. This meant a few things. The people fighting have a lot of supplies, a lot of bullets to waste, and perhaps some rare items worth fighting for. There might also be more than two people fighting, as the distant gunshots echo throughout the map, luring players from all around. But most importantly, it meant that the raiders fighting were wounded. Maybe some of them have depleted their shields while others in their last quarter of health. So all I had to do was wait for the opportune moment to strike. And so I sneaked around the building, taking notes of footsteps and where enemies might come from. And eventually, I heard them coming to me. I witnessed a battle between two raiders, a trade of bullets and smoke. But I couldn't act yet. Not yet. When one of the players took down the other, then it was time. The hole looked good, some guns and materials I could recycle into useful items. However, here's another tip for sneaky solos. Clear levels and shut doors when you're looting in a hotspot. Otherwise, you might just lose everything. Still, regardless of any setback, the great thing is you can always go back topside. I began a third raid, spawning in the forest bunker southeast of the dam battlegrounds. PvP nor PvE combat-wise, this raid was peaceful. I took down a few arcs on my way to the testing Onyx, nothing really interesting. The highlight of this raid was simply the loot I got from the Onyx building, at least for a low level like myself. I was able to scavenge some important crafting materials and an arpeggio, an assault rifle that's better than anything I have. And this is an important lesson. All treasures can be looted from buildings, not just from players. You're likely to find that industrial material you need to upgrade gear from a building, not from killing a player who is looking for a fruit to upgrade their scrappy. So with a full backpack and a new assault rifle, I headed to extract. though not before witnessing a titan of a leaper hunting for a prey.
Don't shoot!
Don't shoot!
For the last lesson for you solo stealth raiders, kindness is free and it feels so good. For instance, in one of my raids just before I head back to Speranza, I spotted another raider who just called for an elevator. However, due to the swarm of arcs around the area, she was gravely wounded. Now others may have used this opportunity to knock them out and loot their gear. Luckily, I was in a giving mood. I signaled to the downed raider that I will help her.
Hey, wanna team up?
I made my way to the elevator and waited until she was in. I drew the arc's attention while also trying to loot a dead body on the elevator. Once she was in, I attempted to pull the lever to escape. However, an arc blast shot me down. Thankfully, another raider came to aid and all three of us escaped the cruelty of the arcs. In another raid wherein I was again exploring the water treatment plant, I stumbled upon another raider. I did shoot him with a Pharaoh on sight, but when he pleaded peace, I was eager to oblige.
Don't shoot!
Don't shoot!
When I was ready to go on my way, I then realized that he was being chased by another player. So I decided to go to him, perhaps lend a helping hand.
Hey, don't shoot!
Eventually, the enemy raider decided to shoot at us after we took down an arc in the room. And so we retaliated. Eventually, we took him down. I then waited for what this other person was going to do. Would he loot the downed raider? Would he shoot at me now? Or would he just leave? Eventually, it seemed that he was about to leave. And so I put my trust in him and started looting. I was now vulnerable to a surprise attack from anyone, including him. Thankfully, he was a good sport. Later in the raid, just before extraction, we found one another again by the elevator. Or so I believed it was the same person. Regardless, as a stealth-oriented player used to lurking in the shadows and striking from behind, It is a breath of fresh air to instead be a covert guardian. Not a blade in the dark, but a helping hand in the darkness.